Hello from Productronica 2023. I'm here at the booth of DSV. I'm talking to Spencer Wall, who is Vice President Sales of DSV. And it's a logistic company focused on technology, especially on semiconductors since the beginning of the year. Semiconductor manufacturers, IDMs, equipment, all the suppliers. Speaking of logistics, most people would think of transportation, just transportation. You think of supply chain management. What do you think is supply chain management, and why is it so important for the semiconductor industry?
Yes, perfect. Well, thank you. I'm thrilled to be here. So a little background on DSV. DSV is the world's third largest logistics provider by revenue, operating in over 80 countries with over 1,600 offices and logistics facilities and 75,000 employees. And as we've really made the emphasis with our focus on the semiconductor vertical. And earlier this year, we created our own DSV semiconductor vertical within that. Although we've been serving the industry for decades, with the path to 1 trillion and the number of new fabs and fab expansions that are occurring, it's going to have enormous stress on the supply chain and specifically the supplier network. And so we recognize within that, in order to hit that path to 1 trillion, beyond just the logistics aspect of it, that we have to work with those suppliers to support those integrated device manufacturers. So we have this very unique approach to inventory management, which is a very strategic approach that's really focusing on uninterrupted revenue operations and improving their network and capital efficiency and really bolstering their strategic supply chain focus.
So you talk to the big companies, IDMs like Intel, Infineon and so on, or Applied Materials on the equipment side, and you talk with these companies about their roadmaps. Then you get all the information and break it down to the thousands and hundred thousands of suppliers.
Yes.
And this is the way you can manage inventory.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. Like I won't mention any specific companies, but yes, some of the world's largest OEMs and IDMs, but also those tier 2 IDMs and OEMs that are so critical as well to the entire supply chain network. So it's all about the demand forecasting, right? And so, as I mentioned, with the additional capacity that's coming online, that has to feed to those suppliers that are all supporting those manufacturers, both on the OEMs and the IDMs. Yes.
Okay. And velocity I think, is one key aspect. Speed in delivering.
Yes.
Why is it so important, and how could you improve speed?
Yeah, so I will tell you, everybody's really been talking about AI and the digital transformation, and with the amount of information that is transmitting between the IDMs and the suppliers, it's critical that information gets there very quickly. And so that's where AI, machine learning can really enable that data processing much quicker than the human cognitive intelligence. And it's a critical component to keeping the supply chain flowing.
And I've learned you use not the big airports to be able to deliver quickly, but you have your own local airports, or how could you put it?
Yeah, sure. So DSV has a very strategic approach to really streamlining the logistics aspect. So if I may give Phoenix as an example, Phoenix, Arizona, obviously with the significant investment of TSMC in Phoenix, rather than and supported by a lot of the OEMs that are based here in Europe. Rather than going through the commercially congested airports of LAX or Phoenix Sky Harbor, we actually set up operations just about 20 miles east of Sky Harbor at the Phoenix Mesa Gateway operations, which opened up in May, where we have our own dedicated terminal, our ground handling equipment, our own personnel. And so when a flight lands there with equipment that's coming from Europe, it's offloaded and through customs within hours instead of days if it was going through some of those commercially congested airports. And that's all about keeping production lines flowing in a world of disruption.
Okay, so what are your goals for the next year, for the foreseeable future?
Right. So it's still that direction. We're really increasing, our presence within the semiconductor space, with our new division of that, but also the digital transformation. Right. So we're not backing off on that. We're really making a significant investment. And DSV has always been at the forefront of innovation, technology, and the digital transformation. We're continuing at a rapid pace.
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction to your company and all the best.
Thank you, Heinz.